Good afternoon, guys. Today's discussion A talks about when people become disabled, if they are able-bodied and become disabled. This show is meant to explain to them how to live with their disability. Okay, with that being said, we shall get going on the show. All right, so here we go. These are framed as the essential tools for living well, not optional extras. The deeper message. The page's core message is that a fulfilling life is still possible, even if it looks different than before. Disability changes your body, your plans, but not your capacity for joy, connection, and purpose or growth. It's an invitation to rebuild, not alone, not all at once, but with honesty, support, and creativity. Health Foundation's movement, food, sleep, and stress. The page closes with a strong focus on whole body wellness, not as perfection, but as support for energy, mood, and resilience. It emphasizes exercise in any form your body allows, nutritious eating to sustain energy, hydration, high quality sleep, stress management practices. Meaning, purpose, and identity after disability. A disability can shake your sense of worth. The page offers concrete ways to rebuild purpose, volunteering, developing new hobbies, adapting old interests, giving back to those who support you, caring for animals. These activities restore a sense of contribution and belonging. This is about reclaiming control, not denying limitations. Support and connection. Why you can't do this alone. The page highlights how isolation worsens emotional distress, while connection, family, friends, support groups build resilience. It reframes help seeking as mutual care, not dependency. It also recommends therapy as a space to process grief and reframe identity. Rebuilding your life, adapting without losing yourself. A central theme is learning to minimize the disability's impact through knowledge, advocacy, and adaptive tools. The page encourages understanding your diagnosis and likely progression, using assistive devices without shame, setting realistic patient goals, embracing new ways of doing things, familiar tasks. Physical abilities, but of imagined futures. It normalizes grief, anger, disbelief, fear about work, relationships, and independence. It stresses that acceptance is not giving up, but unlocking the ability to move forward. And that pretending to be okay only deepens isolation. Letting trusted people in is framed as a strength, not a burden. It organizes this it organizes this journey into several intertwined domains: emotional adjustment, redefining identity and purpose, building support systems, using adaptive tools, prioritizing health and energy, managing stress and lifestyle, adjusting emotionally, grief, acceptance, and self-compassion. The page acknowledges that disability brings a major loss, not only of meaningful life, but as a profound transition that calls for grief, adaptation, creativity, and connection. What the page is really about. The page guides someone through the emotional, practical, and physical work of rebuilding a life after a disabling illness or injury. It emphasizes that while the loss is real, your autonomy, purpose, and well being remain possible. And millions of people have walked this path before. You regain independence, stability, and quality of life. The page's goal is to map these systems clearly so you can take the next steps with confidence. Living well with a disability, as the page you're viewing lays out, is about adjusting to a new reality without surrendering your identity, agency, or joy. The surrounding content frames disability not as the end of a life. And then you've got protection and advocacy, P&A systems in every state. Client Assistance Program, or CAP, for vocational rehab issues. It's also listed national advocacy organizations and legal options. The page's core message: becoming disabled is overwhelming, but you're not expected to navigate it alone. There are established systems, legal, financial, educational, technical, and community-based design to help. Connection and autonomy. Legal rights and advocacy. The final major section explains the laws and systems that protect disabled people. Americans with a Disabilities Act, ADA, employment rights and reasonable accommodations, how to file discrimination complaints. Give me 1 second, folks. Independent living skills and daily support. The page highlights the role of Centers for Independent Living, or CILS, which offer skills training, peer support, advocacy, information, and referral. It also covers personal care assistance, transportation options, adaptive recreation, and community programs that support social, affordable housing programs. Section 8, public housing. Section 811, home modifications, funding, Medicaid waivers, USDA grants, state programs, independent living centers that help people with finding accessible housing and transportation from institutions to community living. It also lists HUD tools and state housing agencies. Accessible materials and technology. It also covers scholarships, vocational rehabilitation services, online learning options, and national resources like the Health Resource Center. Housing and accessibility. This section focuses on fair housing protections, modifications, accommodations, anti-discrimination. For disability-related expenses, the page links to SSA planners, Medicaid directories, and examples of programs that fund assistive tech, adaptive vehicles, or personal assistance. Cleaning houses like CPIR, disabilityresources.org, financial assistance and benefits. This section breaks down the major programs. SSDI, based on work history. SSI, based on financial need. Medicare, after 24 months of SSDI. Medicaid varies by state, covers low-income disabled adults. Also notes state disability programs, nonprofit, financial aid, and tax credits. For children, the page highlights early intervention, special education, transition planning. Early intervention is birth to 3, provides therapies and family support under IDEA. School-age children can receive IEPs related services and assistive technology. Teens need help transitioning to adults, healthcare services. Families can access adaptive recreation, parent-to-parent support, and national adaptive software, text-to-speech, voice recognition, explains how to get an AT assessment, who performs it, and where to find funding, insurance, vocational rehabilitation, nonprofit, and state act programs. Also list national directories like Able Data and Alliance for Technology Access. Assistive technology tools that restore independence. The page emphasizes that assistive technology, AT, is often the first and most empowering support. It includes mobility aids, wheelchairs, walkers, prosthetics, exoskeletons, communication devices, speech generating devices, eye gaze systems, hearing and vision supports, hearing aids, cochlear implants, screen readers, braille displays, smart home tools, voice activated lights, thermostats. What the page is doing overall. It frames becoming disabled, whether suddenly or gradually, is a major life transition that affects emotions, daily functioning, finances, and long-term planning. The page then organizes the help available into clear domains: technology, children's services, financial benefits, education and employment, housing and independent living, and legal rights. Each section explains what exists and who qualifies and where to find it. Okay, guys, that is it for you. I will be back on with B shortly. Give me a bit to put that together for you, and I'll have that for you in a little bit. For now, Gator Wellness, take care, folks.